And it's 2:43, May 12th. If there's law enforcement threatening you, if there's politicians threatening you, that means they're not law enforcement and they're not politicians. That means they're criminals. Especially if they're threatening you in illegal ways. That means they're criminals, not politicians, not law enforcement. It also means they're corrupt. Remember this. So if they're corrupt and they're criminals, they're people not to trust, if that's true. Remember that. So if there's corrupt politicians threatening you and threatening you to aid them in illegal agendas, that means they're criminals. If there's law enforcement threatening you and threatening you to aid themselves in illegal agendas, that means they're criminals. They're not law enforcement anymore. They're not politicians anymore. And it also means they're corrupt. And it means they're people not to trust. Remember that. Now, if they're threatening you with prison because you're a terrorist, that's something different. But yeah, if they're threatening you for money and property that isn't theirs, or threatening to murder you for X, Y, and Z, and it's illegal and this and that, that means they're criminals and that means they're corrupt. If law enforcement is threatening you, and they're real law enforcement, and they're threatening you to carry out illegal actions, that means they're criminals and no longer law enforcement. That means they're corrupt and they're people not to trust. Remember that. It should be very obvious. So never trust corrupt people. What do they tell you about corrupt people? They're crooks, they're swindlers, they're evildoers. Why would you trust people who are corrupt? Wake up.